Hi, this is Yoshi. Today, it's time to repot this guy. This is my wife's favorite, Wilsonara Hilda Plumtree Purple Wing, which has no purple anywhere in this orchid. Anyways, as you can see, there's a new roots coming out, and two new growth is going, so this will be a good time. I already know what's in it. It's all sphagnum moss, so I want to change to the medium that I like. Yeah, it's a lot of sphagnum moss, so I'm gonna just clean that up. There's already a good amount of new roots going, actually. So a lot of Camellia orchids, oncidiums are potted this way, and I know Olympic orchids, where I used to work, well, I used to, or just I can't work at this point because I'm too busy. That's more like it. But Olympic orchids likes to use lots of sphagnum moss, and I think this works if you are not, or if you don't tend to water a lot. But I do. I cannot help it. It's my character, I guess. And usually the roots rot when I use sphagnum moss. So of course, that's why I use bark on my seedlings for sale. And I changed a lot of my seedlings medium to bark mix, and it works pretty well in my greenhouse with my watering habit. I tend to water things every 3 days or so, especially the ones that with a small bark, which I'm going to use with the sphagnum, some little bit of a sphagnum moss in it. It tends to dry out in time to my liking. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what the medium looks like later on, but it's small chips, small bark, I should say. It's just a fir Douglas, or Douglas fir bark, or whatever it's called. It's not some fancy ones that people like to use, like Okiara or kiwi bark. First of all, I don't have money for that. It's super expensive, and it's just in an industrial level that just doesn't work. I don't want to charge my orchids just because the barks are too expensive. You know what I mean? That doesn't really make any sense to me. People can change to whatever they want, you know. But anyways, for now it works fine. And let me mute this iPad. Can I mute this iPad? Anyways, where were we? Even with the Okiara bark, I have seen some videos, and some people just repot anyways every 2 years or so. So I don't really see the point of using Okiara bark. I'm sure they are really good product, and actually I had a chance to buy kiwi bark as like a group order from SBO when Fred Clark was doing a presentation for us. We had like 20% off or 10% off or something like that. And yeah, people bought kiwi bark as a group because you have to buy a lot to get discount or whatever. Anyways, I thought I was gonna buy it together, but then I have this big bag of Douglas fir bark. So I mean, what's the point of separating it, right? Using the one that for a kiwi bark for mine personal orchids, but then use the cheaper one for the selling ones. It's kind of getting confusing, I thought. So I'm like, I'll be just fine with Douglas fir bark. It works fine, so it's a little bit dusty. I don't know about the Orchid bark, but anyways. So I am not looking at the screen, so I hope I'm getting everything. Let me check. Yeah, I think I am getting everything in the frame. But yeah, there are lots of good roots, and then also some older roots. I'm not gonna really mess with the cleanings, like cleaning meaning like taking out the old roots or whatnot. I'm gonna just take all the moss out and just pot them up. In the end, the older roots will still work as an anchor anyways, so and if it's too obvious and it's easy to take out, of course I will, but I'm not gonna go like one by one. I did this with the Miltoniopsis, and that one died. I think it's not the medium. It might be the timing. It might be the, I don't know. I just don't do well with the Miltoniopsis. Here you go. As I expected, there's a plug. It takes a lot of moisture, and usually that's where the rot starts. So you want to take that out. Same thing with the moss plugs. It does pretty much the same thing. Anyways, where was I? So yeah, I have a Miltoniopsis. Also came from a Carmela, and it has sphagnum moss just like this, and I should clean up, but I'm kind of chicken about it. Every time I repot it, it dies. So I don't know. I should, but at the same time, if it dies anyways, what's the point, right? It's doing fine though at this point in the greenhouse. I moved it to greenhouse. It's here in the living room is like 30 to 40% humidity. It's pretty low, and it gets lower there than 30 sometimes too. So it's like so many plants gets dry before I realize it, and so I moved it to greenhouse because Miltoniopsis likes humidity. Lots of oncidiums likes humidity more so than Cattleyas in general. So anyways, I have one more in the near future I have to repot. It's in bloom, and I think I'm gonna make a video along with Violet, because she bought that orchid from me for $1. And she wants to learn how to grow orchids, so yeah. And if you hear some screaming voice, that's Talon. He is wide awake and making lots of noise, so excuse me, excuse us. But anyways, this sphagnum moss really doesn't look that bad, which I knew it wasn't that bad. Moss from top always look a little bit bad, but sometimes, you know, inside it's not that bad. It's just lots of humidity creates slimy stuff on top, and which is not good, but sometimes you have to rethink if you really have to repot. That is if you like moss, that is. I do and I don't. I think it would do fine here with the moss, but yeah, I think this is as far as I could do. I don't know if I should do hydrogen peroxide. It's with us quite a bit. I wouldn't say a year, but how long is it? Maybe, yeah, maybe a year. I don't know. So I know it doesn't have any bugs or something, but just in case, I probably should do that. Okay, this was easy. Sometimes sphagnum moss gets really deep in and really takes time to clean up, but this wasn't the case. I don't think I'm disturbing too much of a root, which is good. I am going to wash off rest of the sphagnum moss gently, and I'll be right back.
I don't hear it sizzle. Why?
You want to hear sizzle?
Yeah. Oh, now I do.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I'm gonna leave it for a while,
Daddy?
and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, so it stopped fizzing, so I will pot it up. This is pretty much my mix. The far bark. This is a perlite, large piece, and horticulture charcoal. I used to just break up those charcoal for natural charcoal or whatever, like super cheap one, like huge bag. But I got annoyed with the breaking apart into small pieces, and these are pretty cheap actually, so I just go ahead and got them. Anyways, yeah, and then I chopped up some sphagnum moss, so it's gonna drain really well. So okay, and I'm hoping it would fit in here. This is the original pot, so same size, and maybe not. I mean, it would, but how long is it gonna stay in here, right? It would barely fit, so yeah, I guess I have to get a bigger one. I was hoping it would because this is also clear and I wanted to use a clear container, but I'm gonna find something. I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is, my go-to, the soup cup with the holes, drainage here. And yeah, let's see. Is this 2 plants? No, I don't think so. Just like that. Yeah. And I think I want to try to put it this new growth inside, like in the middle, even though it might be a little hard. Back a little bit. And start filling it in. What is this? This kind of a medium for me works very well. Like I said, it's probably because of my watering habit. And the oncidium types usually like a little bit more of a moisture in the medium, more than Cattleyas or something like that. So that's why I'm choosing this media. But feel free to do only bark if you want, only sphagnum moss if you want. And I got some pencil here. I'm trying to push it in to avoid the air gap. I mean, air gap, a little bit of air gap is okay, but not too much, you know, because you want to make it evenly moist. See, here's the thing though, it's little, I need to make it little. It's too deep in the pot because the new growth is gonna get stuck inside. So I'm gonna do, I just pulled up a little bit and it creates the air gap here, so I have to kind of push it in a little bit. This is not my idea, by the way. If you have watched, I think it was a Brad's greenhouse, he did this trick. Actually, I have never done this trick before, but I always knew I could do that. Okay, that should be good. Maybe there's a little gap in here. Push a little more in there. Okay, so this is how it looks. Not too much. There's maybe a little bit of air gap here. I could push a little bit, but I don't think it's really necessary. Okay. Yeah, I think this is good. And a tag. I lost my original tag. I have no idea where it went. But repot date. Do that. And where do I want to put it? Maybe here. And I have something stinging my finger. Anyways, I'm gonna water it and call it good. And goes back to greenhouse. So thank you for watching, and I'm glad it was a quick repot video rather. But you guys have a good day, evening, night, afternoon, what time ever you're watching this video. Bye.